go free. If any one of you want to go to the fourth plant to have a guide tour to the plant, we're meeting out at the east or the north corner of the mall at 8:30, the 13th. It will cost you $10 and you buy your own lunch. Now, if you want to go, please call Cheryl at the Contractor Association office and leave your name there, and you should be in by the 11th if you want to go. Thank you, because I know George wants to get on with his skit.
Thank you, Bernie. I really appreciate what you do. We have one of the best programs in the country. Thank you, sir. We haven't had the jokes yet. Let's see who we're going to have for a judge tonight. Do we have one of our guests? Let's have one of our... Carl, pick out somebody from your crowd to judge the jokes. We need somebody that could... We've had this guy several times that never heard a good joke. Okay, come on up, please. All right.
Come on up, you'll stand out in the crowd.
Are you done from there? Okay. Joke time. Joke time. Can you hear?
Listen now.
We need your... Does Windsor have a joke? It's been so long since we've had a good joke. Windsor, come on up.
Come on, Windsor.
Good, Windsor. Joke time. Please listen up for Windsor.
You know, it's been a long time because you all have developed a lousy taste in jokes. But this is one that I think that I enjoy. But it's about the young couple that had been married for 2 or 3 years, and the gal wasn't really, her marriage really wasn't as fulfilling as she had hoped. She went to the marriage counselor, and she says, you know, the marriage counselor, I've got 2 or 3 problems. Says that my husband just works constantly. Says that he works just night and day. Whenever he is home, why, he's got his finger half the way up his nose to his brain, and he says he just picks his nose constantly. Says, so, you know, he's either working or else he's home picking his nose. And so she says, you know, I can really live with that, but says that really, whenever we get into our sex life, that it really gets to be something that I can't really accept. She said, you know, I accept this working constantly and picking his nose constantly. But she says, do you have a weak bladder? So anyhow, she said that really, that every time that while we have intercourse, he insists on being on top. Says that we have never done it any way other than he is on top. She says that it's just gotten to that whenever we go to bed, I know that I'm going to be on the bottom, he's going to be on the top. And he says that that's the way it's going to be. He said, I've tried to tell him that, you know, that maybe I'd enjoy being in a different position. But said that he just doesn't seem to understand, and he just insists on being on top. And she says that these are the 3 things that are bugging my marriage. So the counselor, marriage counselor says, well, said, I understand what you're saying. Said, I'll have your husband come in. So the next day he has the husband come in, and he says, you know, says, your marriage has got problems. Says that your wife has these 3 main problems. She says that you work constantly. When you are home, you're always picking your nose. That if you have intercourse, or marital relations, I guess that we should say in a group of this type, that you insist on being on the top, that you never let your wife be on any other position, but that you insist that she is on the bottom, and you're on the top. He says, well, said, you know, says it's very simple. Said it all goes back to my childhood, you know, and most of the problems of psychiatrists, they always relate back to childhood. But he says that my dad, it's my dad's problem that he has instilled certain things in me. He said, well, the counselor said, I don't really understand about this. And the fellow says, well, really, says my dad always told me, work hard, keep your nose clean, and never fuck up.
Wow, I don't want to say wow or damn. Who's our next joke teller? Do we have any brave souls among the crowd? Here's one. Dale has one.
I can tell six. Tonight, while Windsor was telling one. I'm not going to repeat and repeat and repeat. Anyway, this fellow was sitting on the airplane waiting to take off for Atlanta. The gal came in. On her dress, she had N-A-N. She sat down beside him and he said, "Good morning, Nancy." He said, "My name is Nancy." Well, he said, "I saw that N-A-N," and he said, I just assumed. He said, "What's that for?" And she said, "That stands for National Association of Nymphomaniacs." Sat there a little bit and he said, "Tell me," he said, what kind of men do you girls really prefer?" Well, she said, "It doesn't really make a lot of difference, but to be honest about it, we really prefer Indians and Jews." Sat there a little bit and she said, "By the way," said, "what's your name?" He said, "Tonto Ginsburg."
Oh, my goodness. Do we have another joke? Jerry Nixon. This is it. He said this is the winner.
Well, these two fellows had a hardware store down south. And a big revival came up, you know, and they both couldn't go. They had to keep the store. So they put the car in, and George got to go. He was gone for a week, and he came back, and his brother Sam says, "George, how was it?" He says, "Oh," he said, "at this wonderful religious revival," he says, "how was the singing?" He says, "the singing," he says, "it's like choirs of angels came down in a little white chapel." Oh, he says, "What?" "How was the preaching?" "The preaching," he says, "the preaching." He says, "Oh, my lands," he said, "the preaching was wonderful." He says, "Oh, my." Came just the words of God right on us. He says, "Well, George," he said, "how was the sex?" He said, "You remember that big cornfield right behind the little white chapel?" And he says, "Yes." He says, "It was butt flat."
Oh. All right. Who's another brave one? We ought to have one more good one. Here comes a brave soul. Would you introduce yourself, Dave?
My name's Jim Reed. This guy comes home about 3 o'clock in the morning, just absolutely drunk, crawling up the front steps. And his wife's standing at the front door and her foot's tapping. She's got her hands on her hips and she's waiting for him. She says, "I want to know where you were, who you were with, and what you were doing." He says, "Honey, I've had too much to drink." And he says, "I can't remember any of that." He said, "All I can remember is where I was." They had purple carpet, crystal chandeliers, and they had a gold urinal in the men's room. Well, she didn't buy it, so the next morning she got him up and she sobered him up and she said, "I want to know where you were and who you were with and what you were doing." And he still didn't remember, told her the same story. So she ripped out the bars and taverns sections of the yellow pages and she goes out looking at all the bars and taverns for purple carpet, crystal chandeliers, and a gold urinal. Went in a dozen bars, couldn't find any. Finally she goes in and she says this to the bartender, she says, "Do you have any purple carpet in here?" And he says, "Well," he says, "back over here in the corner," he said, "we got a bandstand." And he says, "Around the dance floor," he said, "there's some purple carpet." She says, "Well, do you have a crystal chandelier?" And he says, "Yeah, up over the bandstand, there's a crystal chandelier." She says, well, you're going to think this next question's crazy, but do you happen to have a gold urinal in the men's room? He thought for a minute, and he hollered across the room at this guy that was sitting there. He said, hey, Harry, he said, come over here. I think we're going to find out who pissed in your saxophone last night.
Well, I think 4 is a pretty good number unless somebody just has one really good one. Okay, Judge, if no other good ones, have you made a decision?
Number 4.
Number 4 is the winner. Yeah, come up and collect some money from the lady. Karen, take such good care of it. Okay, we're about to get in our program. We're still heading for an 8:30 send-off here for the ones that want to go to see the ball game on TV. So the golfers have been real busy, and they decided to give us the liberty of not having their skit tonight. The information on the golf tournament was in the newsletter. August the 7th, starting at noon. The price is $25 for everything, $15 a meal only. Hidden Valley, August 7th. So, if you'll bear with us, we'll make one half second, about a 10-second adjustment here. We need your attention for about 12 and a half minutes. You need to listen to the words. What they say, it won't last very long, but what they say is worth hearing for the most part. This was written and produced by John May of the Worth Corporation, one of the newest young talents in Springfield, and he'll write one for you for a price. So that's the end of my speech, and so watch for the production on the pig roast.
It's dangerous up there. Is it dangerous up there? Come on back to the... Come on, Jack, get back. I love that blow-up dog.
Automatic curtains.
Yeah. One is like running it tight. Well, I mean, this automation. Oh, shit. Who's hyperventilating? Hey, there's Tech Printer. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? They have appointed me to promote the pig roast. What am I going to do? Just a simple subcontractor. Why do they pick me? God, I got all this work to do, and they make me do this. Ah, I know. I'll call George Ennis. He always knows what to do.
A man without a woman is like a ship without a sea. The only thing I think. This is George Ennis.
George, this is Jim. Are you busy?
I was just opening my mail, Jim.
George, I've got a problem. I've got to figure out a way to promote the pig roast.
Sure, Jim. That's too bad.
George, are you listening to me?
Sure, Jim. Hang on, Jim. Something came up. Jim, I got to get a tire patch quick. But listen, when I have a real problem, I always turn to a higher power.
You mean him?
Yes, Jim, him.
Thanks, George. Now, why didn't I think of it? Why didn't I think of it? Oh, here's him. Hello, Tom. This is Jim.
Yes, Jim. Check's in the mail.
Oh, Tom, that's not why I called.
Is it? Don't send the money to Colin.
Tom, I have a real problem.
Well, Jim, that's why us general contractors was here on earth. To help you subcontractors with your problem. Go right ahead.
Tom, no, Tom. Us subcontractors really do appreciate that. And that's why I called you. I have to promote the contractors' pig roast this year, and it's a real problem.
Jim, when I have a real problem, I always turn to a higher power.
You mean even higher than a general contractor? You mean?
Yes, Jim, him.
Gee, thanks, Tom. Thanks. Now, why didn't I think of that?
This is Jeff Butler.
Hello, Jeff. This is Jim.
Yeah, Jim. Why, those shop drawings are in the mail.
Oh, no, Jeff. Jeff, that's not why I called.
It isn't. Forget Cobb's shop drawings. He ain't bitching yet.
Listen, Jeff, I've got a problem.
You too? Boy, I've got a real problem. I can't decide between a new Mercedes or a new BMW or maybe a Porsche or maybe a...
Jeff, listen. I've got a problem. I've got to promote the contractor's pig roast, and I've got a problem.
See, maybe a Ferrari, that'd be nice, or a Lamborghini. Yeah, no, that's what I need, a Lamborghini.
Jeff, this is a real problem.
Jim, you're right. It is a problem, not a Lamborghini. I can't even spell Lamborghini. I know. I'll design my own car. I'm an architect, and I can design anything.
Jeff, listen to me. This pig roast promotion is a real problem.
First, I'll have 4 wheels. Nah, everybody's got 4 wheels. I want 5 wheels.
Jeff.
Jim, tell you what. There's an even higher power than an architect, and when I have a problem, I turn to him.
You mean him?
Yep, to him.
Gee, thanks, Jeff. Thanks a lot. Now, why didn't I think of that? Let's see. Telephone book. Area code 918.
918, you're right.
918, yeah.
Oral Roberts.
Is this Oral?
Oh, I hope so. Who's this?
This is Jim.
Oh, Jim, how's it going? How's Tammy? Real shame about you losing the job. You should have called me first.
No, you've got the wrong Jim. I'm Jim Cobbin.
Jim Cobbin. Are you a TV evangelist?
No, I'm a subcontractor.
A subcontractor? Oh, Lord. Lord, a subcontractor, Jim, how could you have sunk so low? What terrible circumstances brought you down so low? Just contractor and or architect. So there's still hope. There's still hope.
Oral, that's good to know. That's good to know, but for now, I need to talk to you about a problem.
A problem? How? You called the right person. First thing, get your checkbook, and I'll give you my mailing address.
Gee, Oral, I'm a little short of cash on account of those damn general contractors and or architects. Well, but say, maybe I could do some glass work for you.
Well, Lord knows I understand about the general contractors and or architects, but I don't need any glass work. Anytime a piece of glass breaks around here, the cracks heal over by morning.
Well, Oral, I sure could use your help. I've got to promote the contractor's pig roast, and it's a real problem.
Shoot, Jim, that's no problem. Just tell everyone they've got to buy 8 million tickets or you'll be called away. It'll work for me.
Thanks, Oral. But that won't work with this bunch. No, that won't work with them. It's a real problem.
Jim, when I've got a real big problem, I turn to a higher power.
You mean?
Yep, all the way to the top. Him.
Gosh, do you know his area code?
Jim, you don't need no area code. You don't need no zip code. Just tell the operator you want to talk to him.
I didn't know you could do that. Thanks, Oral. Now, why didn't I think of it?
Because you're a damn dumb subcontractor.
And or supplier.
Amen.
Hello, operator. I would like to place a person-to-person call to him. Yes. Yes, that's right. Him. Phone rings.
Oh, the phone is ringing. John Q. Hammond's here.
Wow, I can't believe I'm really talking to you.
Well, hell, who is this? This the news media? You want to know what great things I want to do next?
No, sir.
Speak
No,
up,
sir.
boy.
This is not the news media. I'm Jim Cobbett. I'm trying to promote the Contractors Pig Roast, and I have a real problem.
The Contractors Association. What do you guys want, another building? Is that it?
No, sir. I
know you want a donation. God damn it, everybody wants a donation.
No, sir. No, sir. It's about the Contractors Pig Roast.
So you want me to donate a pig? Is that it? I'm too goddamn busy for that shit. I'm the busiest man in Springfield, in the whole world. I tell you what I'll do. I'll buy a ticket from you.
Well, thanks, but
No, I won't argue. It's my final offer. I'll buy a ticket, but you got to cut the price in half, and you got to deliver the son of a bitch to my office. You know how to get to my office, don't you? You just start at the Hammond's Country Club, go by the Hammond's Heart Institute, then burn after you pass Hammond's helicopter pad, and go to the Hammond's Fountains and the Hammond's Student Center and the Hammond's Dormitory, and then you'll be on the John Q. Hammond's Parkway. Then you'll come to the Hammond's Tower, the Hammond's Holiday Inn, and
excuse me, sir. But
now if you come to to the brand new Hammond's Holiday Inn, you've gone too far. So you turn around, you old fart, and go to one of the Hammond's burger stations. Come in. That's, you know, every goddamn time I turn around, there's something on the goddamn phone. They want a goddamn donation, or they want something like that.
Sick of it. Sick of it. Tired of it. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I don't know. I went to him. What am I going to do?
I don't know what the fuck.
What am I going to do?
Looks like you got a problem, Cobbin.
Yes, I do. I've got to promote the contractor's pig roast, and I don't know what to do.
Why the hell don't you tell them where it's at?
I didn't know it was. It's at the Buena Vista Ranch. Buena Vista, Pat Jones. Buena Vista Ranch is where it is. Everybody knows that.
When is it?
July the 16th at 6 o'clock.
How much are the tickets?
$15. You can get them anywhere. Call Cheryl at the contractor's office.
And that you like everybody to make it the best?
Right, right. Make it the best. Now, why didn't I think of that?
Well, hell, Jim, didn't always be a janitor. I used to be a subcontractor. Oh, no.
Ronnie said no problem, so he got on the telephone, he called over, and you know, one of the factories that made sheets and everything, and said, here's what I need. He said, Gorbachev needs 100,000 condoms. He said, wait just a minute. So he went back to Gorbachev and he said, well, you know, what size do you want? And Gorbachev said, well, he said, I want them 3 inches around and about 15 inches long. So Reagan said, okay. So he got back on the phone and talked to the factory, and he said, here's what I want. He said, I want 100,000 condoms, 3 inches around, 15 inches long, print on it, made in USA, size medium. Originally started with that. Really, I'm stalling for the guys to get ready. You know what you call a woman that has lost 90% of her intelligence? A widow. All right, everybody. Joe Tucker, come tell Joe. This is about the young preacher and the old preacher. This young preacher was going to preach his sermon at the old preacher's church for the first time. So, you know, they were back behind the pulpit area, and he was as nervous as he could be. And he told the old preacher, he said, there's just no way I can go out there and do this. So the old preacher told him, he said, well, he said, I've been out this several years, and he said, I'm the same way. And he said, I keep a fifth of whiskey in that little cabinet over there. And he said, there's the whiskey, and he said, there's the glass. He said, there's the teaspoon, and he said, there's water. And he said, every Sunday morning, he said, I put a teaspoon of whiskey in a glass of water, and he said, I go out there, and he said, I give a fine service. He said, now I'm going to go on out and join the congregation, and he said, there it all is. He said, I'll see you out there. So in a few minutes, while the young preacher come out, he gave the sermon, and after it's all over with, why, he was standing at the end of the church. The congregation was filing out, and they were congratulating him. They all left. He turned to the old preacher and he said, well, he said, how did I do? And he said, well, he said, I just noticed 3 mistakes. And he said, well, he said, what was that? And he said, well, he said, first of all, he said, you put a teaspoon of water in a glass of whiskey. And he said, second, he said, David slew Goliath. He didn't stomp the hell out of people. And he said, third, he said, that was a taffy pull they had over at Mrs. Peters' house the other night.
Who's next?
Art.
Come on, Art. Come on, Art. Art.
All right. Some of you old timers might, is this the first? Won't we tell the joke?
Okay, I won't get embarrassed if you won't get embarrassed. My ghost joke will be the difference between a hooker, a lover, and a wife. Please no one get offended, this is a joke. A hooker says, faster, faster, faster. A lover says, slower, slower, slower. And a wife says, beige. I think we'll paint the ceiling beige.
Any more? Come on. We need some more jokes here.
I guess I'll.
We missed the good joke. They all stuck their head out of the curtain when they heard the woman.
This may be the wrong slot to tell this story, but I thought it was beauty. It's a joke or motivational lesson is what it actually is. The coach down in Florida was having some trouble with his football team. They were out there just hanging around and wasn't doing any good, and he got disgusted. He called them all into the big huddle. Even the kids with the mascot over there came in. He had this big old 15-foot gator on the chain, and they was all listening to him. The coach got up there, and he ran his lane for about 30 minutes. He said, now you boys are big as horses, as stout as oxes, and so there's no reason that you can't do better. And he's motivating them pretty good. He said, you can do anything in the world that you set your mind to do and have the guts to do. And he got into it pretty deep, and he said, now, I want to show you that if you've got the guts and you can make yourself believe you can do it, you can do anything you want to. He walked over at the old mascot, and he grabbed that chain, he jerked him up right good. The old gator's mouth flew open about like that. The coach reached down the unzipped his pants and put his hand, well, he controlled himself. And he walked up to the old gator. The gator's mouth started closing down, you know, and just as he got to where the teeth was meeting the flesh, the coach just took both thumbs, jabbed him in the eye. The old gator opened up, the coach backed off. He said, now look, he said, see, if you make up your mind and you believe you can do it, if you've got the guts to do it, you can do anything in the world you want to do. Now then, who out there wants to try that? Who's got the guts to try that? They were kind of quiet for a minute. Finally, this little wimpy boy in the back comes running up there.
and John. Well, Mary has head lice, and Susie has body lice, and John has a runny nose that he's constantly wiping on his sleeve. Well, Mrs. Johnson says to her children, now Sunday, the preacher is coming to dinner. Now, Mary, please, whatever you do, don't scratch your head at the dinner table. And Susie, whatever you do, please don't scratch your body at the dinner table. And Johnny, for goodness sake, don't wipe your nose on your sleeve at the dinner table. They all promised to behave. Sunday, the preacher came to dinner. Mary's sitting there, and her head starts to itch, and she doesn't know what she's going to do. She has to scratch it. So she says, hey, preacher, my mom is going to give me a permanent, and she's going to put a curl here, and a curl here, and a curl here. Well, she got her scratching done. Pretty soon, Susie started to itch all over, and she didn't know what she was going to do, so she thought about what Mary did. And she says, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, hey, preacher, my mom is going to make me a new dress, and she's going to put a bow here, and a bow here, and a bow here. Well, she got her scratching done. Well, little Johnny's nose started to run, and he absolutely didn't know what he was going to do. So he thought, and he thought, and he thought, and he said, hey, preacher, you see that picture over there? My mom is going to put it over there.
You gonna go, Joe? Oh, okay. Any other jokes? Joe, why don't you go tell jokes in there?
Dirty, I wouldn't tell dirty, but
I've had a couple of them.
bashful.
Okay, you're bashful. Any more jokes? All right. Lady Judge. Bob Higginbottom. At this time, I'd like to introduce our guest speaker for the evening. Please welcome Jacob T. Smith, Springfield's oldest citizen, who will speak to us tonight about the contractor's pig roast. Thank you, Mr. Rommel. I was talking to Art Bushman. He says he knew your daddy back in the war. Can y'all hear me in the back here? Huh? Can y'all hear me in the back?
Go!
Yeah. Can you hear me in the front? I've been asked to talk to you tonight about the contractor's pig roast and how it all got started. Now, some of you think it's kind of a new thing. And there's some of you think there's always been one. But I was there. And I'm going to tell you tonight how it's commenced to be. Way back a long time ago, Springfield was a small frontier town that just getting started. There was just a few buildings in the whole town. And there weren't none of them that had John Q. Hamlin's name on it yet. There was only one saloon in the whole town, and it just had one little innocent dance hall gal. There was a few contractors back then, and there weren't more than 50 architects in the whole town, so you know it was a long time ago. Well, anyway, one day old Mr. Common he was a prominent pig farmer that lived there in town there on Main Street. He come into the saloon with his pet pig named Jim. Now, he loved that Jim, and he took him everywhere he went. And the townsfolk, they knew Jim, and they all loved him, too.
Bring me a whiskey. All right. I need a light. What kind of light?
Yeah, it was a peaceful little town until that awful day that Black Bart and his gang of desperados come arriving in the town. Now, they was an evil bunch, and that Black Bart was about as mean and ornery as they come. Some say he drove with the Dalton gang. Others say he'd been a general contractor out in Durango, and you know he was a mean and ornery cuss. Well, anyway, wouldn't you know it, but what the first person that Black Bart walked up to was an architect. Black Bart he didn't think too much of them architects. Well, it got awful. Black Bart and his gang, they commenced to taking over the town. They was a shooting people. They was there raping the women. And they was a holding subcontractors' retainage a lot longer than they supposed to. But then one day a stranger rode into town. A man with no name, kind of looked like Clint Eastwood or John Wayne. Well, the townsfolk thought he was a good guy, and they looked for him to save the town. Well, the stranger went in the saloon, he ordered himself a glass of milk, and he stood there and he looked around, and he spied Jim there on the floor, and he went over and commenced petting Jim. Well, Jim took an immediate liking to the stranger, and I think the feeling was mutual. Well, the stranger didn't know it, but he couldn't have picked a worse day to come to Springfield. Because Black Bart and his gang had been drinking. They had just robbed the bank next door and set it on fire. And now they was in the saloon and they was still feeling mean. Black Bart walked over to Jim as soon as he got through with his drink. He said, "You reckon that pig could dance?" Well, that poor Jim, he danced till his little feet was tired. And this angered the stranger.
That's a lot worth looking big than that.
The stranger stood up and he squared off at Black Bart. And he challenged him to draw on the count of 3. 1, 2. Well, wouldn't you know, Black Bart cheated. He drew on the count of 2, but quick as a flash, Jim jumped up to save the stranger's life. Jim caught a slug and it killed him dead, but it gave the stranger time to draw his gun. And he gunned down Black Bart and his evil gang of desperados before he himself was killed in the gun battle. Well, when the smoke cleared, it was an awful sight. 5 men lay dead on the floor. Poor Jim lay there by his new friend. The beer barrels were shot full of holes and the bank was burning next door, and the dance hall girl said, "Someone do something, someone do something." Well, old Mr. Coffin, he stood up and he said he reckoned that Jim was the bravest pig he'd ever seen, and that if he ever had any sons, he'd name them after Jim. But the contractors, they were a more practical bunch. They looked around and they said, "Hell, we got some beer, and we got us a fire, and we got some dead pigger on the floor. Let's have us a pig roast." And that was the contractor's pig roast ending the meeting. So, ladies and gentlemen, to honor the memory of the brave pig named Jim, we invite you to the next Contractors Pig Roast to be held on Thursday night, July 21st at 6 o'clock at Pat Jones' Bona Vista Ranch. I thank you for your attention and good night.
How about that? We got one more thing to do tonight. $100 door prize. For you that don't know the rules, if you call in your reservation before noon on Monday, and you're here tonight, you draw your number to get $100. If you did not call your reservation before noon on Monday, and you're here, you want to draw your number, you win $50.
I won it. Well, I won it.
Did you draw a number out here? We don't hear. The magic number is 8. I'd like to introduce the person that wrote this skit, as well as the one we had last year. John May, give us a hand. He lost $100 tonight.
Have another drawing.
What do you think? Do you think we ought to draw another name? Okay, I'm going to do this like I do the board members. All in favor of having another drawing to draw for another $100, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That's the way the board meeting goes. I think it's unanimous on this case. Do we have 156 people here tonight? And who is the name?
Don Jones, attorney at law.
Don Jones. Where's Don? Don, do you have a secretary? Do you have a secretary? Used to have a secretary, right? Okay, we're going to...
Orlando.
Excuse me.
Every year at this time, it becomes my duty as the pig roast chairman to set up some advertising for this pig roast. The pig roast is successful, and with being advertised, now we got to go on. And every year we have a little skit to advertise this. This year we have flown in direct from Hollywood some professional actors. We really have went all out for you folks. You really know what's going on. And I'm going to need your help, because everyone knows about Vanna and Pat Sajak. We have flown Pat Sajak and Vanna in from Hollywood. I guarantee it. I know everyone has watched the Wheel of Fortune, and the way you open the Wheel of Fortune is Wheel of Fortune. So I would ask you to help me when the curtain opens. Wheel of Fortune. Here we go. Wheel of Fortune! And the star of our show, Pat, sing it! All right, Pat.
Looks like we have a great audience tonight. I'd like to welcome you all to the special edition of the Ozarks Wheel of Fortune. We'll meet our players, but first, we need to bring out the best little letter turner in the Ozarks, Band of Light. Band up! You look stunning as always. And am I right, is that another new boot job? Well, let's introduce our players now. Who's this distinguished looking gentleman?
I am Mr. General Contractor. I'm very smart and I make a lot of money. And I want to win tonight, so I'll have even more money than I make by keeping the money that I'm paid for the projects and not paying the subs.
Who is this preppy looking gentleman here?
Oh, I'm Mr. Architect. I've designed a lot of neat buildings in Springfield, all the buildings. Russell hasn't done anything that even likes better than what I've done, and I want to win a Volvo.
And who is this poor gentleman down here on the end?
I'm just a poor subcontractor. I'd like to win so I can make payroll this week. Of course, I wouldn't have to be on this dumb show with the damn general contractors to pay me once in a while. Instead of putting it in CDs.
Okay, I believe everyone is ready to play.
Yeah.
General Contractor,
Yeah.
give the wheel a spin.
Okay, let's get the big money going. Okay, Pat, how about a letter Q? Q.
Beep.
I'm sorry we had no letter Q. Maybe you don't understand the rules of the game. It wasn't written in the poker code or anything. Not many words have a Q.
Oh yeah, well, what about John Q. Hammond?
Well, anyway, let's move right along with Mr. Architect.
How about a T?
How about a T? We have 3 T's. $4.
the United States.
They were right. You weren't even close. Back to you, Mr. General.
Oh, here we go again. All right.
Spin.
Why do I get an extra turn if I tell the story about the
No,
prostitute?
no.
Come on, people. Come on, people, help me.
Is there an end?
There's one in. Spin it.
Hey! I'd like to buy a valve. What's your best price? Oh, well, that's too high. Way too high. I mean, I can get a blackboard put up in the office and get a lot better bid than that on it. I can even buy valves cheaper than that in Arkansas.
That's the price.
If I bought an O along with it, would you throw in an A? Oh, well. I think about it. Oh, well, just forget it. Just forget it. Yeah. All right.
Come on, big money. Come on.
Woo!
Is there a G?
I'm sure there is. One G.
I'd like to buy a valve.
Okay.
How about an O?
There are 3 O's.
Football have leather seats.
Did you?
I'd like to buy another valve.
Okay, all
An
right.
A.
There are 2 A's.
Hey! Spin, huh?
Come on, big money. Come on. Come on.
$1. How about an M?
O-N. I'm sorry. Back to you, Mr. Subcontractor.
Is there a P? Spin.
Good spin.
No, subcontractor. There's one C.
I'd like to buy a valve.
Okay.
An I.
There's one I. Can you solve the puzzle, Mr. Subcontractor? No help from the audience.
No help.
No help.
I need some help.
No help. No help. No help. I'm sorry, Mr. Subcontractor. Back to you, Mr. General. Can you solve the puzzle?
Of course I can. You know, I can read. I didn't get this written by not being able to read the contract. I read my bank statements every day.
All right. I'm sorry, we're out of time. Mr. Architect.
Yes,
can you
I know,
solve the
I know,
puzzle?
I know.
All the money and a chance at the Volvo.
Contractors, pig roast.
Mr. Architect. Get a chance at the Volvo. Guys, guys, good hand. Sorry.
Do you have any other prizes?
Well,
I'll tell you the joke about the prostitute.
Get off. Okay, Mr. Architect.
Yes. Yes, shake your hand.
I want you to know that you can win this new deluxe 760 turbo 2-door sports coupe equipped with cellular
Cellular, like
in-store
Alltel,
radar detector, and all the other status options that you architects like to have.
Wham, man.
Are you ready to play?
Yeah.
Okay. No help from the audience. The answer is a thing. You need to give me 5 consonants and 1 vowel, and since this is a special edition, you get an extra consonant.
Are you referring to the alphabet?
Yeah.
Let's see. An N. And an S. Let's see, a G. And with a G, I have a D. And L, P.
And your vowel.
A.
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 Now this is a tough one. No help from the audience, Mr. Architect. Can you solve the puzzle?
Yes, I think so. Yes. Damn.
I'm sorry, this is a tough one for architects.
No Volvo.
No Volvo, I'm
No
sorry.
Havana. No Havana.
Well, Vanna, there were no big winners tonight, but everyone can be a winner by attending the Springfield Contractors Pig Roast on July 27th at 6 p.m. at Buena Vista Ranch. Good night.
Thank you, Larry.
I hope you all enjoyed this little skit, and I really and truly thought that Jim really did have some people from Hollywood here, but I guess he was just putting us on. I hope.
That's work. That's his age, IQ, and number of legal parents.
We'll talk about the spring wingding. All right, Jim, you're on. Get the mic.
All right.
All right, Jim.
Here we go.
For some time, your fundraising committee has considered having a spring get-together, some kind of a fun thing to let the summer begin. This year, the first ever spring wingding. First of all, I didn't name this thing. I may be the chairman of it, but I didn't name that. And I won't name the person who did name it. But I think you can figure it out if you'll think about it. 2 weeks from this Thursday night, on May the 17th, on the lower level of the University Plaza Trade Center, will be the first ever spring wingding. The tickets will only be $12, quite a bit less than our pig roast tickets. Ladies are more than welcome. Ladies are urged. We're going to have a little band there, and gosh, if you want to dance, I think dancing would be appropriate. Maybe a little ahead of time. For this $12, you get a half a chicken, slaw, chips, bread, and all the beer that you need. No more than you can hold, but less than you need. We'll remember that. T-shirt that I have on, only $6.95. They'll be sold there. If you want to order them in advance, Cheryl's taking orders, and you can have them. Without, pardon? Sleeves? Yeah, you like the sleeves? They're available too for $1 more. $2, I'll be in it. The buttons are 50 cents. We can't afford TV advertising, so we're urging you to buy the button for 50 cents, wear it every day to remind everyone that we're going to have a spring wingding on the 17th. I can't imagine what's going on back here, all this giggling. If there's a serious side to this, we do need volunteers to help. probably going to need a lot of cookers. I'd say we need a dozen or better cookers, and a lot of people to help serve. If you're interested in this, you can contact Windsor or Jim Claney. They're going to be the chairman in charge of the service again, or you can call Cheryl at the office. Without further ado, I think they're about to bust a gut back here. We will get on with the program. And now, for your entertainment, I'm proud to introduce the Wing Ding Rap production presented by the Spring Wing Dingalings and the support from the Dingettes. And if you've got a snapper, you're supposed to use your snapper.
Howdy, 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 chicks and dudes. I'm the cock of the walk, cock-a-doodle-doo. I'd like to crow and I'd really like to sing, but I'm supposed to tell you about a mighty fine thing. It's called the Contractor Spring Chicken Wing Ding. Hey, Mother Goose, this is not a nursery rhyme. This is about a chicken good time.
Pluck a chicken, what are we gonna do? Gonna put it on a grill and cook it for you. Chicken,
We have more. Please listen to the chicken wrappers coming to you.
SCA members always have a good time, but we had some problems writing a rap that would rhyme. So for this occasion, we've come up with a thing. It's called the Contractor Spring Chicken Wing Ding. Gonna barbecue some chicken and drink a lot of brew. And what we need right now is support from all of you.
May the 17th, 6 p.m.
Lower level. She just said once upon a time there were 3 little pigs. This is not a pig roast, Mama Goose. Listen to the chickaroos.
Pluck a chicken, what are we gonna do? Gonna put it on the grill and cook it for you. Chicken,
Y'all been interrupting and worked up quite a fuss, just trying to organize every one of us. We think we got it figured so you'll have a good time. We think you're gonna like it mighty fine. May 17th is gonna be a lot of fun. We're not gonna allow anyone under 21. We won't be just a serving, just a wing or a thigh. We're gonna serve a half a chicken, my oh my. Tater chips and slaws will round out the meal. For only $12, it's a hell of a deal.
May the 17th, 6 p.m.
Lord.
Pluck a chicken, what are we gonna do? Gonna put it on the grill and cook it for you. Chicken, boo-boo-de-doo.
Stay safe.
You've almost got it, but your chickens aren't little. Besides lots of chicken, you're going to hear a good fiddle.
We want to see you all at the Spring Wing Ding. It looks like it's going to be a pretty fine thing. We need you all to come now without fail, which brings us to the end of our Wing Ding tale.
Remember, May the 17th, 6 p.m.
Lower level.
Pluck a chicken, something you gotta do. Chicken, boo-boo-de-doo.
Would you like to hear it again?
Wouldn't you two please sit at the head table? Please, you're our honored guest this evening. I meant to. Yeah, please do. You haven't drunk out of your glass yet, have you? Please do. You're our guest. Get a camera.
Let's go, Borgie.
Look at there, Jim.
How you doing, boo? Hello, Jim.
We miss John May. John May is our kind of a guru of the skits, and he's always had fantastic things, different themes, and John wanted to take a sabbatical. We didn't know where to send him, to France or to Paris, so we said just go somewhere. But he's so fine. But he wanted to take a year off, so we had to put one together ourselves.
Okay.
And the guy that did it wasn't here. He declined to show up, Bill Drew said. So what we have is a bid letting on this special torture. So we hope you'll endure it. It's really short and quick, and we have our special players ready. So it's the, whatever the name of it is, the last bid. It's a bid letting. So we hope you'll recognize it.
I think these pig plans are some of my best work. Adjusting from the design for 7 site plans has been no chore for my backroom boys. You know, I hire engineers. And also, don't forget my 5.66679% fee for putting these pig plans together. Okay.
Want to call them all architects?
You want to call them all architects?
Yes.
Well, let me talk to the chief architect in charge of this big pig job. Hello? Are you the architect in charge of the job called the pig job?
Yes, I am.
This is Erect 'em Right Contractors. I'm real serious about my company getting this very important project you had out called The Last Pig.
Well, we could possibly consider your firm as a general. You know, the completion date is 6 p.m. on July the 19th at the Pat Jones Ranch east on Division. Remember, though, that the pre-bid conference is here at 11 a.m. and the bid opening is at 2 p.m. sharp. However, there will probably be another addendum out about 1:30.
Well, that's dangerous. Could you at least make it a little bit sooner? 1:30 is a little late for a 2 o'clock bid opening.
Well, you know, we don't want to get it out too soon because then you're liable to get a correct bid. I want to keep things down to where everything is under a little bit of pressure so that you'll be on your own now. We'll see you. Bye.
Bye. Now, Ms. Perfection, you know your work's cut out. We got a job to bid in a hurry, and we need the cheapest bids you could possibly get.
You think I don't know my job, you silly savage? Of course I know my job. Yo, fart.
Here's the right contractors.
Hi, sweetie. Any good jobs bidding?
Oh, yeah. There's a big job. Bid today called The Last Pig.
Hold on. I'll let you talk to the boss.
Mr. Rectum Ride. Yeah? Who is this?
Hello, this is Lowball subcontractor. I really need this job. I mean, this paid job thing.
Well, hey, Lowball, I don't have any prices yet. What's yours? I need the cheapest, best price you can possibly get.
Well, I'll bid, I can do it for, goddamn.
Well, the phone's ringing. You're going to have to call me back, but I need your cheapest price.
All right, Box.
Right, contractor. This is A1 Get It Done subcontractor.
Oh, one moment, please. Mr. Rectum, A1.
I screwed around this last job. I really need this fix. Yeah, man, I don't have anything going. I gotta have it. Now listen, A1, I've got to be in the architect's office at 2 o'clock and it's getting late. I need your cheapest price. Well, this is it. A1 really wants to get it done. I really need this fix. I'm getting down and dirty. How about 42 cents a pound? And a completion date of July the 19th. Well, okay, well, if that's the best you can do. By the way, now this is for plans and specs. You know, you got to have labor, material, and have you seen all 69 addendas? What the hell? I've only saw 68. 69 affect me? Well, yeah, 69 affects everyone. It covers changes on pay scale, schedules, and insurance, the whole damn thing.
Oh, get my freedom. Keep a blow ball. Yeah, baby, this is me.
Where you going tonight, man?
I've got a room for us at the Silver Saddle. We're gonna ride all night.
Sounds great. By the way, the boss talked to your ex-partner, A1 on the phone. Today, babe, you got to be 42 cents a pound, Leroy.
Right, thanks, dog. Let me talk to your boss.
Mr. Rectum, Lowball's on the phone again. Yeah. Hello.
Hey, Mr. Rectum, this old Lowball again. I'm really going after this last pig job. How about 41 7/8 cents a pound? How's that sound?
Well, you won't have it. Why?
41 7/8.
Well, that sounds pretty good if that's the best you can do. I don't have time to shop around any longer. I've got to be at the bid opening at 2 o'clock. At your cheapest price, I guess it'll have to work.
I got it. Oh, say, by the way.
Is it 2 o'clock yet?
Are we all agreed that it's 2 o'clock?
Yeah, come on, let's go.
Are all the bids in?
Yeah. Yep. Everybody's here.
Well, we got bids from Word and O and Hoke, but we haven't heard from Doc yet.
Well, it's too bad. It's past bid opening time. That's right. Go ahead and open the bid. Hey, come on, open the bid.
Maybe we ought to wait, because maybe we might have someone in Parton coming in with a bid.
Hey, if they're not here by now, it's too late.
Well, oh, there it is.
Oh, come on.
I guess that really, I already know what this bid is, but I guess we ought to disqualify it.
Yeah!
Let's just tear this one up in here.
Would you just wait a minute? Let him read the bid.
All right. Well, I guess since we're throwing that out, then let's see what else we got.
Silver Saddle.
Oh, there's the bid. There's the bid.
I'm going this one so far. 76? Oh, you're kidding.
76 cents.
Oh, no. Lowball's got teeth cracked. Now just get it.
Oh!
Yeah! Hey!
41 and 7/8.
Lowball's got it. Lowball. Right there.
Next bid there.
Oh, that's
42
my bid.
cents. Yeah.
Lowball.
No. Well, we're going up the line now. 45 cents. 71 cents bid. Boy, I'm sure glad to get all these qualified bids here. I guess that most of them would 49 cents down there. We haven't been checking them to see if they've got their bid bond with them, but that's a penalty, you know. We don't have to buy anything else at 53. Boy, this has just turned out, you know, everybody's wanting to get in on this big pig roast on the 19th. 66. Well, okay, is that all of them there, Secretary?
That seems to be all of them, sir.
Well, good. Thank God. But anyhow, we have evaluated these now, and it seems like they're all above the architect's estimate. Well, you know, if we're over the budget, we just can't do it. So really, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this pig, and I'm going to take it to the pig roast and cook it.
Hey, now, wait just a minute. Can't we negotiate a little bit?
Well, he can come to the pig roast, but I'm going to take this pig roast. I'm going to take this pig out, and we're going to cook it at the contractor's pig roast.
At the contractor's pig roast?
At 6 p.m. on July the 19th.
Well, when is it again?
So the contractor's pig roast.
When? What pig roast? When?
Contractor's pig roast.
When is it? What contractor's pig roast?
Springfield. Someone's departed from the script.
I can't imagine that. When is it? What script?
That's it. When is it?
July 19th. Pig roast. July 19th. Thank you. Where is it?
Pat Jones Ranch, East on Division.
What time is it?
6 p.m.